Hello everyone, this is Suko, and I'm gonna play Doom today. And you're gonna watch it, and you're gonna like it. So this is like the new fort they just did, and they just added achievements for beating all the Doom games, like all the level packs and stuff. So I've already done that like a couple times, so I figured I'd record myself doing it. You might notice the beautiful aspect ratio. Well, just that shit is like cut off on the side and everything. I'm doing some like weird, I'm playing this off my Steam Deck. I'm doing some like weird shenanigans to get it looking correctly on my CRT monitor that I just got, and it looks nice. But the side effect is that if I record or do like video streaming from my Steam Deck to like record footage, then it looks like this. But I think it's kind of funny, so you'll have to live with that. Let me turn this down a little bit. So in this game you shoot guys, like there's a guy up there, and then you like click, and then he gets hurt. And they fall down when they're at the ledge. It's cool. That guy didn't. And then there's secrets. So this looks weird, so you press spacebar on it, and then it opens, and then you found the secret. And there's guys in there. Yeah, I like this game. So I played Doom 1, and I played Doom 2. I think I played TNT, I finished that. But I haven't finished Plutonium because it was really hard. So we'll see how far I get. Things just kind of worked out today that I had some extra time and I'm in an empty room so I can talk and play the video game. Just like the secret, you gotta run from these lampposts, and then that comes down. There we go. So I'm gonna try to kill everything, get all the secrets. Sometimes these little items have a percentage too, if you get them all. But every time I try to get all the items, I like miss one, and then I'm just like running around looking for an item in the dark corner for another 8 minutes, so I don't think I'll do that. Alright, there we go. A little over the par time there. This level's cool. There's this guy. I keep pressing the tilde button. I'm not a cheater, I promise. By the way, there's no like, so all these achievements for like beating all the Doom like level packs, they have like a level select built into this thing, and also you can do it from a command or a cheat too. But it's like you can literally just like level select to the last level of all of the map packs and beat it, and then it counts as the achievement. Which I could do that, but then where's the fun? Easter's tomorrow. Jesus will be back. That's fun. But I love that guy. I wonder if he would like this game. Yeah, I had to do a lot of shenanigans to get this running right. Because, I just wanted it at, like, low resolution with, like, scan lines. And that would normally be very easy with, like, how the resolution is on the monitor. Like, it's a squash vertical, I don't know. The way this game renders, it renders, like, 16 by 10, and then it gets stretched out vertically into 4 by 3. So, like, I picked a 16 by 10 resolution on my monitor, and if this port of Doom would play nicely, then it would render it 16 by 10, and then we stretch it to 4 by 3. But the way this is built, so people don't mess around with the settings and like mess something up, it automatically stretches it to the right like resolution, even if you do. So it's just like, yeah, it's really weird. I have this rendering at like a weird high resolution, and then it's like downscaling to 720 by 400. That was a real pain in the ass. Because the thing is too, I don't know what the issue is on the Steam Deck. If you have, I have it hooked up to this monitor, and when it's hooked up to the monitor, I can't open like the settings menu while I'm in a game unless I unplug like my dock and let it go back to this. It's just so, it was really annoying. It's unplugging shit and replugging shit in and trying to make it work. And it's not all the way to my liking. There's a couple little issues, but I'm just gonna have to deal with it because I want to get the achievements on this, and if I do other stuff, I'll definitely get you know, an actual source port going and get it looking nicely on my monitor easily, instead of having to screw with Steam settings and game settings and stretching settings and all this nonsense. Oh no, have I really had the thing on the... This is so embarrassing. I had the thing on the screen the whole time. This really is a shitty Let's Play. Well, it's really good because I know the secrets. Oh, there's a Spider-Man. Check this out. I gotta kill these guys. Kill this guy. See this wall? You gotta shoot this wall and then it opens. That's pretty smart, right? But there's more, because you press this wall. There's 4 1% armors in there. It's pretty cool. I feel like punching people too. Ow! What the hell, man? It's finally getting warm outside, which is nice. It kind of sucks though, because it went from like snow temperature to 65 degrees and incredibly humid. It's like looking like it's gonna rain, but it's not raining, so it just kind of sucks. It's okay. I gotta get some more summery clothes, because I just don't have enough. All the stuff I like wearing is like long sleeve. Which is fine, because the weather's disgusting for most of the year. But, it's not. Right, I think I got everything. Yeah, this game is cool. There's lots of, like, little YouTube things of, like, recreating the Doom engine and X programming language. There's, like, one for, like, every programming language. I want to try that out. I have this final project in this college class I'm in right now, which is, oh yeah, it's just this. We got the chainsaw. It's, making, a program in assembly for, like, it's a computer architecture class, so we've been learning about caches and stuff and doing, like, a program to, like, simulate a cache, which is pretty fun. The final project is to do... Well, the professor has had this project for a long time. It's like a... I don't know what we'd call it. It's... Look at me, I'm going to the class. I don't even know what the words to use. But it's like a custom assembly language. Kinda. And it has like a custom like LCD thing to like output to a 64 by 64 window. The color palette on it is like terrible. There's like no grays or anything. I missed 2 guys. But I wanted to do it's just like make a program in it, make it a little bit ambitious at least, and I want to do a raycaster, which is like if you've seen Wolfenstein 3D, or like, you know, it's very simple. It's not like this game where there's like stairs. Everything's flat, laid out in a grid, and all the walls are the same height and everything. So it's kind of a little bit of trickery to get it going. It's nowhere near actual 3D, but yeah, I want to write that in this assembler, and I think that'd be cool and impressive, and I'd be proud of that. But it's just a matter of it's a lot of math, weird kind of complicated math, and then having to do that in assembly where you're you know, passing around values between registers and memory and trying to, you know, it's going to be very fiddly. So I want to try to write something as streamlined as possible myself, and then with that understanding, I should be able to put it into assembly, hopefully. The biggest thing that I'm unsure about right now is, where are these two enemies? The biggest thing I'm unsure about right now is, having, like, decimals. Because in an assembly there, it's all integers. So I kind of got to figure out, like, what am I doing with the decimals? Do I have to add them or multiply them with stuff? And probably make my own, you know, functions to do that. I was thinking you might be able to just use, like, the bottom 4 bits of or, the bottom X amount of bits to, like, use that as the decimal and then just kind of cut stuff off from the bottom. But, I don't know. I have to mess around with it. This is seriously driving me nuts. Are they up here? What? Why is this up? I was like, why is there an elevator to nowhere? But, yeah, man, I was up till like 4 a.m. last night. So my games that I've made, I mean, the last couple, obviously, I've been using Pico 8 and Lua, because Pico 8 uses like a modified version of Lua. And actually, I like the Pico 8 version a lot. Like, I definitely enjoy it. This is crazy. Where are these people? I went down the elevator. This is nuts, bro. Hello? I don't think I missed a secret. I'm looking at the map. I went outside there. There's the stairway. I explored inside. There was the imp up there. I got him. There's the elevator that goes nowhere. I explored... Oh, there's like 2 corners of that maze I didn't explore. I see that now. It's annoying. Yeah, I mean, I've been working with Lua with Pico 8, and I like the hash table stuff. I actually started working with Python a bit for one of my classes. I'm taking an AI class, and we're doing this kind of algorithm-y stuff that I haven't done before. Assholes. That's the kind of gameplay you only see on Milk and Punishment. But yeah, I've been doing Python. I did a little Python too. I don't like it as much. I think I... Okay, I'm missing one item, but I'll have to live with that. I like the hash tables and stuff. I do... I enjoy statically typing variables. I don't like the... I don't like leaving that stuff completely ambiguous until it gets compiled. I feel like it just doesn't feel right to me. I liked that about when I was using Godot for a bit. Godot's cool, but I think it's a little bloated for the kind of stuff I want to be doing, and I just ended up fumbling with it. I liked Godot because you don't have to statically type everything with their GD script, but you can, and I don't know, I just enjoy that. I enjoy everything being neat. But that's the reason I don't like Game Maker either. It's because everything is just like super willy-nilly. It's just kind of weird to me. What was I saying? Something. I don't know. I was talking about Lua. I was looking into Love 2D, which is a game framework for Lua. That's what it's kind of getting popular right now because Balatro was made with Lua and Love 2D. So everyone's like, that's how you make Balatro, is you download Love 2D. Even though it's not, but it's definitely, mostly because of the programmers as my fellow, and it all comes down to that. It's like whatever tools you use, whatever tools you use. But yeah, I started using it for a bit. I just don't. It's just like annoying to me, like the includes and like stuff being in local scope and global scope, and I don't know. I just found it a little bit weird. So I don't think I'm gonna be using Love 2D. I mean, at least not right now. One of the big things I've been having issues with is, you know, most of these classes I'm taking now as a third year. We're making our stuff in C++, and I'm just like, I don't have a lot of experience with C++ or C. I actually realized that forgot about this. I had to test out of oh, do you like that? So there's a button down there, but the way this game works is that like the button hitbox is like basically infinitely tall, so you can just go up to a wall, even if it's like down below you, and just press the wall. But I had to test out of this fundamentals of programming class because I didn't have like the I don't know, it didn't transfer from my community college I went to for 2 years, which is just weird. But yeah, I had to test out of this fundamentals class, and he had me do an assignment in C. I was like, I guess I never did C, so I had to like learn C a little bit, which was good. It felt good. I just kind of I don't know. I think he gave me like 2 weeks, which is like until the dropping a class deadline. In case I messed up and I couldn't test out, but I needed like whatever. But yeah, I had like 2 weeks and I had to like learn C and do this assignment, and it wasn't too bad. Definitely a lot of stuff I'm not used to. But yeah, like doing that and doing all these assignments in like C++ for my classes now, it's like I'm realizing that I'm having to frickin' just like Google every 2 seconds because I'm unfamiliar with syntax. I'm like not sure which things to include or where's what and all this stuff. So I wanted to maybe make some games in C++ or something. And there's this, I don't know if you'd even call it a framework. I think it's pretty simple as long as what it gives you, but this framework called Raylib that has like, you can use it with basically pretty much any programming language, but it's Raylib was written in C. So I think I'm going to try to make a couple games in C, maybe some C++ too, but they're fairly similar, except C is just a little bit harder, I think, and it doesn't have the object stuff. I'm not too familiar with the exact differences. But yeah, so, and it compiles to web, which is the important part, because I want to be able to make web games and put them on new tabs. So yeah, I'll be working with that. I'm gonna do this, this raycasting thing in that, probably just to get it going. Oh, the texture changed there. I got many trains of thoughts. Yeah, I finally learned the word, and I love this word for it. As with all the, because I've tried lots of game engines, and I poked my head into lots of them, and I just end up finding it annoying, like with a game engine, which I think is why I enjoyed working with Pico 8 so much, is because in Pico 8 you have to build everything from scratch. Like you have to, build your list of objects and make a function to have them all run a function that they hold to like update their behavior and draw them and all this stuff, and just doing that hands-on I think is a lot more enjoyable because working with GameMaker, I worked with GameMaker for a while, and I'd have all these big ideas or want to do this, or not even a big idea, just like, okay, I want to implement this like this because that's how it makes sense to me. But the thing with game engines is that just by nature they are opinionated, which that's the word I heard someone use for it, which I like that. Because they're opinionated, you know? They're like, oh, they have their objects, like the way you have, you know, entities in your world and like behaving and stuff and updating is like they're implemented in a certain way, and you can't really, you know, you can't do much about that. And that was the thing with like Game Maker. It's like I was working on Jerry Tower 2 in Game Maker for a bit, but I don't know. It was just I just don't like Game Maker that much. I don't like working on it. I don't like fumbling with this and that. So it was like, because it's like, you know, if I'm working on something like Jerry, like that's a simple game. Like the enemies have like a position and the speed and like the graphics they use, and you know, very few things. And then maybe I needed something. I'm trying to think. Well, you know, I'll have like a facing direction. You know, one of the things too is like a lot of the games I've been making have like, you know, the character can face in multiple different directions, and then there's a sprite for each direction. And that's just been like a constant, like since I started using Game Maker, just like trying to fumble with that and figure out the best use case for it. Because I do appreciate the Game Maker sprites, where it's like each sprite is kind of like an object in itself, and it has like an animation with a list of frames and speed and stuff. But I've just been like fumbling with that. And then stuff too, where it's like if I want everything to like freeze, like everything to pause, or like these certain like things are frozen in time, like that's just because Game Maker controls the flow. Well, it looks like I got everything. Yay! Oh shoot! If I fell in that slime pit, I would have had to play the whole level again. That was close. But, you know, Game Maker's opinionated. It's very opinionated, and its opinions are kind of shitty. And so, for the streamlined things that I appreciate about Game Maker, there's always a bunch of things I'm like stepping over its mess on the ground and like trying to build my own thing in the corner, and then it's just like, you know, there's a lot of people who use Game Maker, and I think it's awesome that they can use Game Maker, and because what I gather is that they're all building their own shit, that like, you know, but it's just like, I just hate building my own shit while I'm having to sidestep around Game Maker's mess. Like, it just feels really counterintuitive to me. And, you know, there's only, like, so far I could go with, you know, building stuff on my own, like I have in Pico 8, and, like, doing it in, like, a big project, because, you know, that ends up being a lot. But, you know, we'll see what I can do. It's no big deal. There's games I want to make, and I'm just gonna do some projects in this and see how it goes. But yeah, I like programming, so that's good. It's good to like what you do. Doing something. But yeah, with this Raylib thing, I'm not too familiar with like compiling C programs and C++ programs with a bunch of files and all this stuff, so I spent a lot of time last night, and then I'm spending more time when I woke up this morning just trying to get, what is it called? There's something called pre-make that kind of helps streamline stuff, and the little scripts for it are actually written in Lua. So I had some familiarity there. But so someone made like a Raylib like project kind of template using pre-make to like, you know, build all your stuff and whatever, and kind of automatically, you know, you can have libraries and blah blah blah. But the way it came, it was just like really like disorganized and like gross, and like all these files you don't need taking up space, and because I think it works for you know, Mac and Linux too, so it had all the Windows and Mac and Linux stuff that you need, but you know, I'm on Windows, so I don't need all that. Oh, here we go. But so yeah, I got that going. I got it to a place where I'm liking it. The only problem is that it only builds to Windows. Jeez Louise, let me out. I can only do the Windows build, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to do the if I can get it building for web from in there, which I should be able to. But I don't know if I'm gonna start working on a web game right away. Because I'm interested, because there's a lot of stuff I haven't done where it's like, you know, I just kind of started scratching the surface with Jerry Tower 2 of having, like, you know, level layouts and stuff stored somewhere, and it's just like I've never had to do that before, and I'm very curious about it, and it's just like I don't have a clear understanding of like how that's done or file formats and everything, so I want to do that. I'll probably end up making, like, you know, my own tile map and like enemy placing tools, you know, and hopefully it'll be something that I could kind of reuse from project to project. I know people use Tiled. I'll have to look into Tiled, because I think Tiled lets you build stuff onto it and like place level objects, so I will have to look into that for sure, because I might just be able to use that. I don't mind Tiled. I ended up using Tiled for Solar Complex because I like Pico 8, but I hate the tiny 128 by 128 window that you have to work in. And it's like trying to build a full screen, like the level isn't big. It's 16 by 16 tiles, but you can't even look at the whole screen at one time in Pico 8 because like the UI stuff for like selecting the tiles you're placing and stuff takes up some of the room. So it's just that's not a guy, that's a candle. But yeah, it was just annoying me. So I downloaded Tiled, and it turned out there was a little plugin for it to use Pico 8, and I made all the levels in that basically, which was nice. But I haven't been able to do that because I have this weird, you know, backwards way of doing the enemy layouts for Jerry 2. So I built like a level editor in the thing, which I posted about on the blog, so I can place tiles in there too. So it's actually been pretty seamless making levels in Jerry 2, which has been nice. Talk about that a bit. So it's gonna be 30 levels. I have like 8 done right now. Maybe 7 or 8. Okay, I know where I'm going. I got like 7 or 8 done. It's just been kind of slow working on it, because I mean, level design is kind of difficult, and there's been a lot of stuff on my plate right now. So I've been opening it every once in a while and working on some levels a bit, but it's a little bit difficult. And I couldn't believe when I opened up my blog and I saw it had been like a month since I did my last devlog on it. It might have been 2 months now. I think it was February, which is nuts. So I'm gonna write a post up real quick when I get the chance, hopefully soon. But I guess I'll explain things here a bit. So I had these the way I have these level layouts is, so I have the, well, no, this is not what I'm talking about. So I'm out of code space in Pico 8 right now. You have like 8,192 tokens is what they call it. I don't know if that's like standardized programming terminology, if I haven't heard that before. But it's basically like you can only have so much code in the Pico 8 project, which is like, okay, Pico 8. But oh, there we go. You can only have so much code, and I'm out of code, so I had to cut a couple new enemies I was gonna make and some other stuff, which sucks, but it's okay. But so I'm out of code. So I can't put in like the last bits of polish like I had in the first game, like the particles and stuff. I always forget about the secrets. I can't do the last bits of polish that I need to put on the game. And then, so the level editor code takes up like 1,600 or more like characters out of 8,192. So it's like, I can't do that math right now. Yes, I can. It's like a fifth, maybe. It takes up like a fifth of the code space. So my plan right now is to finish all the level layouts, have some friends test it out, see if it's good, see if it's bad, change stuff a bit, and then once the level designs are locked in, comment out all the level editor code so I have another, you know, I have more room to add in the final bits of polish and like the title screen and the ending. Which kind of sucks, I don't know. It's definitely kind of an overwhelming project right now, and I haven't wanted to work on it a lot because it's going to be like a really tough balance to kind of get all that finished, you know, get all the levels done, and then like balance this last tiny bit of code to get something in there. And the restrictions have just been more annoying than creativity breeding, you know, so kind of sucks. Might be a bit longer than I expected to get it finished. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about what I want to do. You know, one thing I was thinking about is they have Picotron just came out, which is like Pico 8 without a lot of the restrictions and some other cool features. Maybe I'll port it to, you know, Picotron. I might actually seriously look into that now I'm thinking about it. Because I can still export it to web and everything all the same and put it on the internet. So I might actually look into that seriously pretty soon. Now that I've said it out loud. Because the only reason I feel like Jerry 2 isn't done is just because of this like stupid balancing act I'm having to pull. But and I feel bad because Albag did the music and Stuffling did the thumbnail already, so it's everyone's like waiting on me. So yeah, I might look into that. Cause feeling a little cooped up. Pico 8. Let's see. I'm trying to think of who let you in here. Asshole. Didn't go down that hallway. Get away from the. Oh. Excuse me. Oh yeah, I know this room. It's like this big diagonal room with the doors. Poison. I guess there is poison down here. That's pretty cool. I remember when I was making the original version of Stimbu 2, I was very inspired by this game. But like I didn't, you know, there's obviously like some corners cut in like the physics and stuff moving stuff around and pathfinding in this game. But I didn't really understand that. You know, when you start making games, I think there's definitely a disconnect between like how you think stuff should work and then how it actually works in like most games that are made well. Because it's like, you know, you expect things to have the complexity of like real life, but there's like all sorts of corners cut and you don't even notice that while you're playing this game. Like it's all magic to you. And it takes a lot. I'm very thankful for all the, you know, there's so much stuff on YouTube that's like reverse engineering games, like old games, and how do they work? How does this bug happen? How does this You know, there's like retro game mechanics explained, and they have, um, you know, I love the videos they do where they're going through, like there's like credits warp, like glitches in Super Mario World where you do all this weird stuff and make like a still reference to something, and then it like warps you to the credits, or it gives you an item you shouldn't have in your item box. And just they just like run through all the, you know, what the CPU is doing, like what the program counter is and all that. Like that's super interesting, and I feel like I love that stuff. And it's cool, and I think it's why I'm enjoying this this assembly stuff in class so much, and this computer architecture stuff. I think it's amazing too, like when it comes to like making games, that like all these like missing 2 items. How sad. Some of the freaking best games of all time were like just written in assembly, man. That's crazy. Like we have everything you could ever want now. Like at our fingertips, like learning tools and, you know, full-on game engines. And, you know, they did program Mario in assembly, and we could do whatever we want. We could like recreate Mario and like make it better, you know, in like 2 minutes. It's kind of amazing. I think that's very true of today, is that with the internet, it's like we have so much at our fingertips. Like you can learn anything. There's resources for making games, for making art, for doing all this stuff. You know, that doesn't cost a dollar, but we're all too busy looking at our phones, watching funny little videos, and then we kind of just get overwhelmed by everything, and our little brains shut down, and we forget how amazing we have it. But I think it really is, you know, anyone can like do anything, man. Like, you can play Doom. You can make a Doom level pack. A wad of levels. A gunky little wad. I messed around with that a little bit. Never got far. I think I get a little OCD with level design sometimes. I gotta think about that more. It was I did the Mario 3 level design contest a while ago, but we got stuck. Whoa, where'd you go, bro? Oh, he like worked down. Oh. Yeah, I did that a while ago, and I kind of just like played through some levels and like really looked at it and thought about it, and you know, because I think when I was first getting into like game design, or just because I was just kind of interested in games in general, you know, a lot of the first things you see are like, you know, Game Maker's Toolkit on YouTube or whatever, and they have a video like the 4-step level design of Mario, and it's like it introduces something and then it does this on it, and it's like, I think because like Mario Maker came out and then everyone was able to make Mario levels, and then it's like, so all these YouTube videos came out. What do you think of this courtyard, everyone? Leave a comment. With these Chinese mountains back there. The sky warp at the edge. That's weird. I don't know if it does that in the original, or if that's a thing with this Unity port. Oh, I missed. Yeah, I think all of these stairs are marked as a secret. So if you're running too fast, then you'll miss a secret in this level because you didn't like land on one of the stairs because you ran off too fast. So that's cool. But yeah, there's like all the like YouTube game design like school of thought. I think it can be kind of questionable, and I think it can be, I don't know if I'd say misleading, but just like a little bit naive. Um, or at least the way I took it ended up being kind of naive, because it just ended up being like, oh, does my level have the 4 steps? Does it check all the boxes? And it's like, if you look at like Mario 3, they weren't like, in like Mario World 2. Mario World has very different level design than Mario 3. Um, but either way, it's like they're not trying to check. Like they'll introduce a new mechanic and kind of like ease you into it. You know, maybe not even just one level, maybe over the course of multiple levels over different parts of the game. But it's they're not checking boxes. Like a lot of the Mario 3 levels I noticed is that they just kind of had like terrain to like play, not like a difficult, not like, oh, here's one hole and then here's a hole that's bigger and then here's a hole with a platform on it. They would just have stuff like just kind of interesting terrain to jump around on. And that's kind of fun and novel in itself because like, you're Mario and you're jumping and he has like controls that you gotta, play around and get used to. So it's like not everything has to be like, okay, now I'm introducing a platform that falls, and now here's a platform that falls over a pit, and then here's a platform that falls, and you have to jump to another platform that falls. It's like not. That's the way I thought. Like you had to do level design, and then I got kind of like rigid and OCD about it. But I've come to realize that like not really. It's enough to, especially looking at something like Mario World, it's enough to just fill out the space with something that's fun to like move through. Like it doesn't have to be this structured challenge kind of thing. And I enjoy level design. I think it's cool because that's like the whole thing with games is like, you know. Alright, I'm gonna go the secret way because I can get the goggles in there. I don't like the dark room. The whole thing with games is like, their art and music, like movies are, but also you're kind of giving the player in it like an actual experience. Like you're making them feel things and like go through challenges, which I think is cool and unique. And then the level design is like directly what does that, like how you're making the player feel something, and you can kind of do anything with it, which is awesome. And like even the most, even if you're just making like a Mario level, like with like stock Mario World assets, the way you place things, how you, how often you put enemies, all this stuff, it like changes how the player feels, and I think that's just awesome about games. And I think that kind of what I was talking about is like the YouTube school of game design, where they tell you there's boxes to check, or they look at a game and it's like, this game does this, so this means that this game is good, so that means that you have to do this to make a good game. And it's like, that's not entirely true. Like it all depends on your goals you're setting out for. And I think it's very complicated when it comes to making a game. But oh yeah, so I was saying, like, I think beyond that too, there's also because I peruse Mario World Central sometimes. That's like the site for making ROM hacks of Super Mario World. It's been around for a long time. And also from what I've seen on like Mario Maker and stuff, I feel like, and it's like no shade on these people, because like, they're doing these little projects and stuff, but I feel like people get caught up in the prettiness, or the being OCD about something or other when they're making their levels, or they're making like a ROM hack or something, and they just don't like the level design being interesting takes a backseat to being like, okay, here's a beach level and it's on the beach, and they just like, I feel like the level design itself takes a backseat, and then like they're making a hack or something, and then it's like it ends up coming down to like you know, it's just kind of an art project where it's like, ooh, here's my Mario hack, and I replaced Mario's sprite with this sprite that someone made, and it looks cool. And here's the tile sets I picked, and then it's just kind of like flat planes with like Mario blocks strewn about. Like it looks like a Mario. Like if you look at a Mario level, you're like, okay, there's blocks floating 3 spaces above the ground, and there's enemies around the blocks, and like they'll create a facsimile of that where it's like, yeah, things are, you know, spaced out in a similar way, and it's like it looks from a distance like a Mario level, but there's just not enough thought put into the design of things, and they'll fall into like weird habits of like always placing an enemy after a ledge when you jump and stuff, and it's I don't know, I think it's interesting. There's a lot of... I think it's inspiring to me too, because I'd like to delve more into that. But, yeah, there's a lot to think about with level design. I was proud of the Mario 3 level I made. I think it combined that a little bit of just having, like, you know, kind of stuff to jump around on, like Mario... like an actual Mario 3 level would have. Just kind of having fun terrain to move around on and not really overly thinking of like progressing a challenge, and then also having a progressing challenge where I had the little plant guys in different configurations. I think that was good. My big regret with that was there's like a bullet at the start that goes to the right. And my intention is that you like dodge it and you're like, whoa, that bullet almost got me, and then you like, you know, you move on with your life and you play the level. But if you bring it along on screen to the end, there's like a gap that you can barely squeeze through if you're like small and you throw a brick at it and you like squeeze in there, and then you can jump off the bullet in midair to get to a super secret exit. And like I thought that secret was awesome, but I think what ended up happening when I saw people playing it, because a couple people even beyond the judges played it on YouTube, no one understood the secret. People squeezed through the gap and they jumped and they saw the bullets in midair and they're like, I guess you need a raccoon tail. Like no one got it. No one got the secret. And then also some people thought that like the bullet was part of the level design, like you had to bring the bullet to the end to beat the level. Like they just assumed that, understandably. So people were like rushing and babysitting the bullet instead of enjoying the level. And that was kind of frustrating. And obviously that's more my fault for, you know. But I don't know. Could probably do a secret like that in a more, in a better way if it was my own game and I had a little more control over how the enemies worked and stuff, you know. I like secrets like that though. I like cryptic stuff like that. That are like interesting, kind of skill challenges to even get there in the first place. A lot of my games have been difficult, and I think I enjoy that. I think having a game that's kind of has good mechanics and kind of challenges you with them. I think Bug Toucher is a good example because that game is like, my original plan when I was making it, I was going to make all sorts of, there's going to be lots of different bugs, and then one, because I was like just starting programming and I kind of sucked, and then two, because that's kind of like that's kind of a tough game to design for, like designing, you know, having bugs that do different things. It's like, and they all have to kind of be working around the, you know, the hand and the touches them in a certain spot. That's always been challenging. But yeah, I ended up kind of giving up on that, and I had the one bug done and it worked well. That was kind of my vertical slice that I had done of the game. So I kind of touched some things up and added the title screen and stuff and the whatever, and released that on Newgrounds. That's how that came to be. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, I mean, that game's like nothing. There's like, you click on the thing and then you have to touch the bug and you have 30 seconds. But I think the balance I struck with like how many times you have to touch it and like just like the difficulty of it makes it more interesting of a game than if it was just easy and it lets you see everything for free, you know? I think difficulty is like, you know, I feel like a lot of games are pulling their punches these days because they want everyone to be able to play them and see it. And it's understandable because like all these AAA games these days, they're freaking like beautiful. They have like hundreds and hundreds of artists and programmers and all this stuff working on all this complex stuff, and like the sound is like sound design and graphics and lighting and all this beautiful stuff, and then you know the it's not like, you know, 1985 where you have to make Mario like really test the player to their absolute limits of how good they are at Mario to get like an experience worthy of $60. I think a lot of games these days are worth way more than $60 with all the great like art and stuff, but the gameplay definitely falls aside a bit and the difficulty falls aside a bit, and you know, I don't know, it's an interesting balance. So that is why I like this game, because it's hard. Like Doom 2 is freaking hard. I played Doom 2 in hard, and it was really hard. And I'd get stuck on levels for days, you know. I was very stubborn playing through all these. Like, I played through this, and I played through Doom 2. The fourth episode of this is really freaking hard. But I don't know. It's really gratifying. It's gratifying to just like play a game until you're good at it, you know. And I do like stuff like Mario too. Not Mario. Well, I do like Mario too, but I mean like Mario as well, where it's a little easier, but there's still that skill ceiling you can like strive towards to like get faster at the game, you know. I think this game's, you know, I know a lot about it. I know how a lot of the mechanics work and stuff, but I think it's just a little too hard. That I'm gonna be reaching the skill ceiling of like trying to get faster at it, because like there's like so many level packs to play, and you know, like WADs and map packs and stuff, and they're really hard, and this is really treacherous with the invisible ones. Yeah, Doom is just hard, so it's just like I don't think I'm gonna get to the point of trying to get faster at it like I do with something like Mario or Sonic or Donkey Kong, but I enjoy this nonetheless. I enjoy the challenge. I thought, what is this? Something was like pushing me here, and it's so weird. But yeah, the challenge of, you know, some of the harder stuff in these games, these Doom WADs, and it's a very gratifying challenge. You can't get anywhere else, because this game, like, it's pretty simple, you know. You just look left and right and you shoot and you run like a freight train. And if you run diagonally, you run faster, which I think is fun. That's actually in Jerry Tower as well. It was kind of an oversight at first, and then I was working on Jerry in Game Maker, and ended up fixing it. You know, like I normalized the. Oh, nice! I got all the items. I normalized the the movement direction and stuff, so you don't move faster when you're going diagonally. And then I sent it to some friends to play, and stuff and was like, "What? You got rid of the famous Jerry diagonal movement?" And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." So I put it back. But yeah, I think I like the diagonal movement stuff, even though it's kind of stupid and doesn't make sense. It's nice. I think it's nice sometimes to have like an esoteric thing that makes you go faster. And definitely out of all the esoteric things that make you go faster in games, I feel like the diagonal movement in this isn't very bad. Because it's like, alright, so you go normally, Or you face 45 degrees a different way and then you move diagonal and you move faster. I think that, I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's like you're not even looking where you're going. It's just, I think that's fun. It's definitely better than stuff like Ocarina of Time where you have to like walk backwards with this. Um, there's certainly a wide range of things like that, of the go fast tech in different games. I Another one I love Mario 64, because in that game you do the dives. Like when you're running and you press B, you do a dive, and then so the fastest way to move is to dive, and then as soon as you hit the ground, you press the button again to roll out of the dive, and then do another dive, because it gets you a little. I think it gets you a little boost of speed, and then you lose some of that speed. So you want to be doing as many dives as possible. Um, and in Mario 64, so if you do it with perfect timing, like you do the fastest possible dives, then the little dust particle that appears when you land doesn't appear because you like immediately dived again. And so like you know you're doing awesome if you're like diving perfectly and the little dust isn't appearing. Like that's so satisfying to do. And you know, it's not like a big deal or anything. It's not like there's a big difference between just like, you know, not not getting frame perfect dives and getting frame perfect dives, but it's a fun little thing to do when you're running from place to place. Like, oh, how many can I get that going? Yeah, it's like this where it's like, you know, I already know kind of how this level works. I'm just trying to get the place to place, so now I can start doing the diagonal running just to get there a little bit faster. Like, I think that stuff is fun. Computer area map. An example of that I hate is Mario Odyssey. And I like that game. I think the movement is great with the hat thing. The hat thing that you do with the hat. Like, it's fun to, like, you know, gauging out jumps and doing it. But the fastest way to move in that game is the rolling, where you, like, you know, you hold crouch and you roll. But it's not, so it's like normally you crouch and you press Y and then you do the roll move, and then, you know, you can mash it to, like, keep it going. But that game is, like, obsessed with motion controls, so if you, instead of pressing the attack button to roll, if you shake the controllers to roll, you actually roll, like, faster than if you press the button, which is, like, so dumb. And I really hate that. Like, it's just so obnoxious to me. And the rolling's not even that fun, you know? It's, like, not even that... Like, it's... Like, you get little, like, spark boosts of speed as you do it, as you, like, land. It's... I don't know, it's just, like, an unsatisfying animation. And you have to shake your fucking hands to do it. It's... I hate that. I wish they did better. I hope this, I know they have some more gameplay of this Donkey Kong game they announced. I haven't really looked at it much. I hope that game is cool. I hope it has yummy movement. I'm a little bummed it's not Mario. I guess we did just get Mario Wonder. And also the, you know, I think it is the Odyssey team. It's been, like, rumored for years that the Odyssey team is working on a, you know, Donkey Kong game, so that's obviously it. Which is cool. But, you know, I like 3D Mario. Nothing beats a little Mario, even though Donkey Kong is cool. I do have an issue with that though. I was definitely going through a little crisis when they revealed it, because they showed Mario Kart that same day. No Diddy Kong, no Kongs besides Donkey Kong are in Mario Kart, and you know, my issue with that, with this new Mario Kart, is that they have all these playable characters. Like, they have the frickin' cow and, like, the dolphin from Mario World and, like, all this stuff, and, like, the snowman from Mario 64, and it's like, that's hilarious and I love that, but you can't do that and then, like, not have Diddy Kong. Like, that's really annoying to me. Not have Funky Kong. And like, I worry a bit with Nintendo because I feel like, you know, like Rareware made Donkey Kong and stuff, and like all of Donkey Kong's little friends, and I feel like, and you know, K. Rool and everything, like they haven't touched K. Rool in a long time, and it's like I feel like they don't respect some of the characters that their like second party devs have made, like, you know. And maybe it's not so bad, but it's just like, you know, I wish freaking, you know, why is Diddy Kong so hard to fucking keep around? Just put Diddy Kong in there, man. He's cute. Look at him. He's cute, and he's like the star of one of the best freaking platformers ever made. It's like, why? Can you not just put him in there, please? For me? I probably won't even play as him, but it just feels like an insult to, you know, these. Like, I love the Super Nintendo Donkey Kong Country games. Like, those are really great. Uh-oh. Hey, we lost my capture. It's okay, I paused. I'm glad I saw that at the corner of my eye. There we go. Okay, we're back. Yeah, like I really love those SNES Donkey Kong Country games, and it feels like they're really, really great games. And it feels like an insult when you won't use those characters just because you, like, they're not Miyamoto's son. They're Rareware's son, kind of. They're like Nintendo's adopted son, kind of. And they won't let him in Mario Kart, but they'll let the fucking snowman from Mario World in Mario Kart. You know, makes me feel sad. And also, it looks like in the Donkey Kong game is that they're going with like new setting and everything, and the Kongs aren't really around as much, which is also a little disappointing. I mean, it's cool to have like a, you know, crazy, wacky, abnormal setting, but also they have a lot of great established characters in it. You know, not even if they're like amazing, well-written characters. It's like, you know, I like Diddy Kong. What's up, Diddy Kong? But oh well, we'll see how that game goes. It's probably gonna be crazy cool. Besides my complaints. Oh, I gotta go outside. Let's see. Where is it? It's here. Up in the closet. Let's get a rocket launcher. The Bruiser brothers are dead, I'm telling you. I've got freaking, I haven't used like any rockets this whole time. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get a Switch 2. I'm a little bit poor right now. I got a car, so that like, and it like takes all my money. Like all my money goes away, so you know, what can you do? Not gonna be able to afford $450 Switch 2, which is fine. Okay, I'm missing a secret. Let's see. It looks like I didn't go there. I don't know what that is. Let's go find out what that is. It's okay, and I'm fairly excited for Metroid Prime 4. I haven't actually finished any of the. What that is? I haven't finished any of the Prime games. I haven't finished any of the Prime games. I started working on one. Oh, look at that over there. Looks like that's a closet that opened up, and there's probably the other 6 guys I'm missing. I started playing Prime 1 on Dolphin. What's up, guys? Which, it's cool. Obviously, it's hard to be a huge fan of the, you know, the clunky console FPS controls. But it's neat, and I'm definitely gonna play through it. I'll probably do all the retro achievements for it, just for the sake of it. But yeah, Prime 4 seems cool. It's always great when a Metroid game's coming out, so I'm excited for that. but that's going to be on the Switch, so that should be okay. It shouldn't be too big of a deal. I don't want the Switch to. I was looking at Metroid Prime Remastered again, and that's what's kind of curbing my worries a bit. Is like Metroid Prime Remastered is like freaking amazing and beautiful, and it's amazing what Retro did with the Switch hardware. And so I don't think Prime 4 is going to be ugly on Switch 1 at all. Because they've been working on this game for Switch 1 for a very long time. So, let me out. Here we go. That's all it was. They've been working on it for Switch 1 for like 8 years, so I'm sure it's going to be as beautiful as Remastered was on Switch, and then it's going to be like eye-creamingly beautiful on the Switch too, but I'll just have to watch that on YouTube for now. Yeah, nothing too crazy that I'm like gonna be dying to want to get on Switch too, so it'll probably be a while. This level of episode 1. I'm just doing episode 1 today because it takes a long time, as you can tell. I like this part. I like these guys. That's why I killed him. I killed him because I like them. But yeah, I've been on a... I gotta finish Final Fantasy VI. I got a chunk of the way through that and just kind of stopped because I got distracted. I started playing Metroid. I did Metroid 1 and 2, and I just finished Super Metroid, all the achievements, like, the other night. Those games are just great. Like, I love those games. Samus is cool. The controls are cool. Actually, I played Super some years ago on Switch. I beat it. I had it on 3DS a long time ago, but I beat it on Switch for the first time, and then I did like a 3-hour run to get the best ending. Hit my head. I did like a 3-hour run to get the best ending and like got 100% of the items, which was like that was super satisfying. So I really love that game. And then I got the ones on Game Boy Advance, and I didn't like them as much. But I played through those ones again just now, and I ended up liking them a lot. I think I might even like how they control more than Super Metroid. Even with Super Metroid, the weird weighty controls are cool. Okay, enough about Metroid. These guys are the boss, and these are their pets. They're invisible pets. I like this game because these are just like, you know, later these are just normal enemies, like they'll just open a hallway and there'll be one of them. But they're kind of like the final boss of this because you don't have the plasma gun or the BFG, like the better weapons. So it's like these guys show up, and unless you're like me and you saved 80 rockets, it's like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Oh, okay. So you see, I'm invisible because I got the invisible power up. And that makes it so the enemies like don't aim at you as well. And so it's awesome for the enemies with guns because they aim at you and they hit you instantly if they're aimed at you with like the gunfire. But all these enemies that throw projectiles, they get like a random offset. So like it totally messes up your dodging because normally they aim just directly at you, but when you have the invisible power up, like these guys, they'll like, look at that. I almost ran into that because I was trying to dodge it. I think it's funny. What do I want to do? I'm gonna just punch these guys. I'm gonna punch this one and then use rockets on the other one. I like the punching in this game. Ow! Yeah, you gotta be careful, because he smacks you right back. I wonder how long it's gonna take. I think he's out of HP. Worm. Oh, I got a little crumb on my finger. It's messing me up. I don't remember which one I was punching. Was it you? Maybe I'll just punch them both. It gives me more time to talk. Think about it. Ow. Ow. What do I want to talk about? So yeah, well thanks, if you watched this far, thanks for watching. I've been wanting to do more, you know, just videos of me just playing games or something. And just kind of stream of conscious talking. But I just don't get the opportunity because I live in a dorm with a roommate. Ooh, I got caught on him. That hurt. I live in a dorm with a roommate. And then when I'm back home, the walls are like paper thin, so I can't really be up late, you know, talking to myself, playing video games in my room, so. It worked out that my roommate went home for Easter. And I'm going to be going home for Easter in a little bit. But I decided to play Doom for however long I'm playing Doom for. And I'll probably play some other games sometime. I'll have to think about it. It'd probably just be stuff in one sitting, because I don't want to like flood the channel with, you know, 800 parts of Final Fantasy VI or something, but... Whew! I like this game. Oh god. Come on. How many punches does it take to get to the center of this guy's meat? Oh! Well guys, that's what we call a skill issue. Yeah, he did like 40 damage in one punch. They have like a big random range there, how much they do. I'm kind of sad I didn't get to do the rockets. I think my only option, I think they might give you a shotgun, but I think basically I have to use the chain gun on me, which is not the. It's better than punching them. Use the shotgun, but it takes a bit to kill them. That armor. Or maybe I'll just start punching them again. So I'm feeling like a bastard today. Definitely need to get rid of these guys first, though. Sorry if you guys were like waiting this whole time for me to use all those rockets and like, just died and lost them all. I feel bad. Okay, all those. Oh, I wasted that. I could have kept that. Oh, alright, I don't think I want the orb. What? Who let you live? Nice. Okay. So their fireballs can't hurt each other. These guys can't actually hurt each other, which is interesting. All the enemies that throw fireballs, the fireballs won't hurt an enemy of the same type. So like this guy's fireballs can't hurt the other guy's fireballs, and like the imps' fireballs can't hurt other imps. So these guys can't infight with each other. But if one of them threw a fireball at like one of these guys, then they would get angry and start coming over and biting on him and stuff. And if an imp threw a fireball at him, then he would start killing the imp, and he'd probably win because he has more HP than an imp does. Woo! And I think the way this, I could be wrong. I think the way this game works is that the melee attacks, like you can't like dodge a melee. Like if he's trying to punch me, I can't dodge that and make him hit someone else with it. So that's just kind of how this game works. But the guys with guns, they can all infight with each other if they shoot each other with their guns. They don't. It's not like there's no. They have friendly fire between them. That was dumb. So yeah, if you wanna, they have a cooldown from when they can attack after they throw a fireball. So just weave. You wanna weave in after they throw a ball. Ooh, but sometimes it's shorter than you thought. That there, I almost got hit, but when I punched him, it gave him hit stun, and it canceled his attack. So that can happen in this game. What do you think about... I did not notice until just now that the ceiling is made of slime. That is very weird. I did not notice that at all. That hurt like shit. Yeah, that's the problem with these guys, is that just the range and the damage they do. It's a little bit high. Alright, sorry, I think I'm just gonna kill them now. I'm gonna pump 100 bullets into each of them. And then I'll start punching them. Oh, he's dead. Okay, I'm gonna start punching this one. That's probably the one I was punching more. I'll punch this one to death. Woo! This is treacherous. God damn it. I'm gonna have to speed this up. Everyone's gonna be mad at me. I should have just used the rockets. I'm a bad dad. I'm a bad Let's Player. Yeah, I don't know if I'll edit this. My impulse is just to upload it, because I don't feel like hooking the video editor. And hey, that's okay. I hope you guys liked the recap video. I thought that was funny. We were watching dumb stuff on because we're trying to make the like YouTube recommendations on this channel dumb. If like we log into this and like, look at stuff. So we were watching like brain rot, like recap stuff, where it's like an AI reading an AI script, like recapping some show. I think the one we saw was like the live action One Piece thing on Netflix. Ow, look at that. Punching him now. Bitch. Oh look, he's trying to fight him. Let me out! Oh! I don't know who killed the Baron there. I think one of these guys bit him to death. Where's he? Get out of your house. It's time to fight. Yeah, we were watching some dumb stuff and then I ended up just going through all the videos and like writing a stupid summary of them and putting it into the TikTok text-to-speech. And I had to use like a web version that like it only let me do like 240 words per one, and then I had to cut everything up and like, well, there we go. Sorry I didn't punch him to death. I tried really hard. I had to like cut it up into a bunch of like really small ones, so it ended up being like 40 different MP3s of all the dialogue. And then yeah. I like making videos because it can be very satisfying to like make a funny, well-edited video, but it's just so time-consuming. Just being in the editing software all day, it kind of drives me nuts sometimes, so I don't do it that often. But yeah, I don't my rockets. Let me get the chain gun out. They killed me. It's like nigh impossible to get all the kills in this level because there's like a bunch of enemies in that pitch black room and then they kill you, and then when your health gets under a certain amount it ends the level, because that's like their cinematic cool way of ending the level. I think a couple people have done it though, which is cool, but yeah, it's like really hard to tell everyone in there. So you don't often get 100% kills in this. Okay. Once you beat the big badasses and clean out the moon base, you're supposed to win, aren't you? Aren't you? Where's your fat reward and ticket home? What the hell is this? It's not supposed to end this way. It stinks like rotten meat, but looks like the Lost Demos base. Looks like you're stuck on the shores of hell. The only way out is through. The only way out is through. To continue the Doom experience, play The Shores of Hell and its amazing sequel, Inferno. Yeah, that's the first episode of Doom. Those levels are okay. I mean, I think they're pretty fine. I might have just played them too much. I'm a little bit bored of them. Some of the later ones kind of blend together. But yeah, it's cool. Not too crazy hard. I like the ending. I kind of am. It kind of pisses me off. You can't get 100% kills on that last level, but you know, that's life. Sometimes you can't get 100% on everything. Well, thanks for watching, guys. My 1 hour of Doom gameplay. I hope you enjoyed my punching antics. I hope you enjoyed my chatting nonsense. And go play Doom. Go play. There's so much. Like, this is like the most. This is the first episode of Doom, man. There's so many great like level packs and stuff out there. You know, I barely scratched the surface of most of it, like playing it on my own. But there's just some great stuff from, you know, from recently and from years ago too, and even some of the official stuff. Really hard, really fun. Thanks for watching.